And tonight, CBS 2 is giving you the first look at what the city of Boise's reopening will look like. CBS 2's Trevor Fay reveals Mayor Lauren McLean's plan for the end of the quarantine.
This afternoon, Mayor McLean announced parts of that plan on her Facebook page. Included was new programming for Boise's libraries during the closure. They'll be adding teen hangouts on Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m., along with programming for adults at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays and Saturdays. It all ties in with the overall plan to reopen the city, which the mayor is working on with her staff. I spoke with Mayor McLean's office earlier today, and they tell me that they're in the planning stages with all of the city departments and that they intend to release their reopening schedule later this week. McLean says they'll continue to operate remotely as much as possible while the disease dies down, and that Boise's recreational facilities and city buildings will gradually reopen provided the health of the community stays steady. Even after lockdown ends, city leaders urge people to continue practicing social distancing. McLean is asking everyone to stay the course and finish strong now that we're nearing the end of quarantine. In Boise, Trevor Fay, CBS 2 News.
Now, the City of Boise staff will present ideas on how to implement the governor's phased reopening plan. That will happen at tomorrow night's City Council meeting. You can find out more information on our website right now on idahonews.com. It's always inspiring to see members from our community donate their time and their resources to do all they can to help others. In tonight's Best of Idaho, CBS 2's Erica Lee shows us how one man is using 3D printers to make PPE equipment for Treasure Valley hospitals.
Chris Chrisman, a member of the Idaho Air National Guard, said he wanted to give back to the community and help medical and first responders taking care of us in these crazy times. So when his second cousin, who has a huge storage of personal protective equipment in Hawaii, offered to send him some printers and supplies to make his own, he decided to do it to help Idaho.
He's like, hey, if you need help, I'd love to get involved. And he said, yeah. He's like, I got a bunch of donation money too. So he sent me some printers and supplies. So I figured Idaho was kind of one of the last ones to get on the whole COVID-19 thing. We might be a little later in the game to have our emergencies start to go up. So I figured I'd try to get ahead of the ball. And I got put on work from home, so I got some more free time. So I he sent me some printers and started putting those together.
Chrisman says it's a group effort, and he's been working with other members of the Idaho Guard to create face shields and the parts for them.
They're all three are just printing headbands right now for the face shields. This one can print 2 of them. Take about 2.5 hours to make one. I just go off this little spool here at printing filament. Just turns it into that. Here's some of the finished bands. And then the clear face shield that we make out of binder covers that just pops right onto the little tabs there.
Since then, he has created hundreds of PPE equipment for local hospitals. Chrisman is fundraising to buy 2 to 4 more printers to meet his goal of making 400 to 500 face shields and over 500 mask holding bands by the middle of May. He is currently at $2,000 of his $3,000 goal.
I might not be a professional with, but it's one way I can give back, when I can't do anything else right now.
Now, the Ontario School District recently declared an emergency after an earthquake damaged one of its schools. And of course, on top of that, we're right in the middle of remote learning. Despite these challenges, the Ontario Schools Superintendent tells CBS 2's Haley Kramer they're getting along.
When we first shut down schools, obviously not long after we had the earthquake, and found out that we had some damage to one of our elementary schools in the form of broken pipes. And it was pretty significant damage. And so we had to immediately bring someone in to start getting those things repaired. Sort of like back in 2017 when we had Snowmageddon, when we had to remove snow off of roofs before they collapsed and we had to keep kids safe. So we put this emergency declaration together.
What does that do for your school district?
And this just allows us to temporarily suspend our regular procurement process. we're doing the same with technology. We need to buy some more Chromebooks and we need to buy some other items, and they're hard to get. So normally we would go through a bidding process, which might take up to a month or more. And if those items come available tomorrow, we need to purchase them tomorrow.
Albisu says they're fortunate that all of their high school students already had Chromebooks. For the rest of their students, they reached out to see who was in need and passed out the Chromebook sets they had available at the schools.
But not every family has access to internet. So one of the things that our technology department did was they went in and they added additional access points. So our students could actually show up to the parking lot in their cars with their Chromebooks and have access to internet. And so, just some little things like that, making do.
What has been the biggest challenge in your eyes?
I think it was an article issued a few weeks ago stating that the cases of child neglect and abuse reports had gone down like 70%. And the reason is there's less eyes on kids. And so how can we from a distance check in and not only ensure that students are able to access academics at a limited level, but also how do we make sure that they're safe?
You guys are done for the rest of the year when it comes to in-person classes. So I guess how are you guys managing the next few weeks? And then how is this going to impact you guys moving forward into the next year?
For right now, I think that we're going to continue doing what we're doing at this moment, and prepare to do that in the fall. And it'd be great if we get to actually come back in person. But we want kids to be safe.